Welcome, family, to Gamecock Hoops with Coop. And on this channel, we'll be breaking down Lady Gamecocks basketball. All right, let's get right into it. Tonight, the Gamecocks or the Lady Gamecocks will be taking on Oklahoma Sooners, right? The Oklahoma Sooners. Now, if you've been watching this season already, you know the SEC, man, when it comes to women's college basketball, it is absolutely no joke, right? It is a juggernaut of a conference. Man, you can even get beat at home more less on the road. So those road games are dangerous, right? Now, Gamecocks head on the road to take on this Oklahoma team, right? This Oklahoma team. Let's just start with Carolina, right? We're going to talk about Carolina first. Carolina is a very consistent, and they've been consistent and dominant over the past few years, right? Don Staley has built this culture where she preaches defense first, right? And she loves to play for the most part through dominant post players, right? We had Asia Wilson, right? We had Aaliyah Boston, right? Both number one picks into the WNBA. I can't remember the other lady name, but she played overseas. She actually goes to our church there in Columbia. Elena Coates, right? Um, Dominant posts over the years, right? We had Camilla Cardoso. Can't forget about good old Camilla, Killer Miller. Now we got Okot that transferred in. Other number of bigs. We just had Alicia come and transfer in. She is known for having some tall, dominant bigs where they develop them well between her and her coaching staff. Now, how is that going to impact the game versus Oklahoma? How is this team currently built, right? Number one, we got to talk about some key players. And since we were already talking about the post players, we're going to start off with a forward by the name of Joyce Edwards. That's right. Joyce Edwards, a sophomore sensation, is having a terrific year this year, right? She's doing amazing, right? She's one of our key players. We got to get Joyce going. We have to get her going. We have to have her in attack mode because Oklahoma, one of their strengths is they have Reagan Beers, right? She's about a 6'4" dominant post player on Oklahoma's team. And we remember her Gamecocks from a couple years back when she was playing on Oregon State. Man, they had a good squad before she transferred in to Oklahoma, right? So she can be a load. She's very tough, a strong player, has good post moves where if she gets her positioning down low, it's going to be a long night. Now, one of the key things, and I think Coach Staley is going to do this, is putting pressure on the interior of their defense, right? One thing about Beers, though, is she struggles with fouling a little too much. And if she ever gets in foul trouble, I do not believe that Oklahoma can sustain or keep up with the Gamecocks. Now, if you guys watched that game when they played LSU, I think that was Sunday. Man, once she got in foul trouble, the game was pretty much over. Oklahoma, they have the number one recruit coming in from last year, Aaliyah Chavez. She's pretty good. But I do think, she takes some bad or some rush shots sometimes. But, as a freshman, she's going to make some mistakes, right? She's getting used to the college landscape. But sometimes some rush shots when they're going in, when she's feeling it, man, those threes can rain on you. But that LSU game, because LSU had some dominant guards, that played some sticky defense, right? Which we have at Carolina. It gave her a little bit of problems. I think she averages Aaliyah Chavez for Oklahoma averages around 19 points a game. That game, I think they held her to 11 points, well under her average, and her shooting percentage was really low, right? So if you can make her take a ton of shots, right, to get her points, we like inefficient scores, right? That's going to allow us to get more rebounds, get it out so that we can run. Okay. And I know at Carolina, of course, it's this the culture that Coach Don Staley built is that we preach defense first, right? If you don't play a lick of defense, you will not see the floor on Coach Staley team. You just won't, right? It doesn't matter how talented you will be offensively or how talented you are offensively. Hey, you ain't gonna hit the floor. You'd have to not only understand on ball defense, that's when the player has the ball, right? Pretty generic, but off ball defense, when are you supposed to help? What are your positions? Where do you need to be? In upcoming episodes, I'm actually going to break that down. I'm going to get some clips in and do like a side by side, and we'll start to break down maybe some defensive schemes where players were making mistakes, and we can kind of slow this game down and kind of look at it a little bit more so that you guys can see while I'm explaining what's going on those particular plays. Now, we talked about the importance of Joyce Edwards must be taking it to Reagan Beers all night. You know, three ball, that's cool. It's going to be most important that Joyce is putting pressure on Reagan Beers. We want to get in foul trouble, get her out the game. That's going to allow the score to balloon, as you will. Another player now, I love Okot, right? She transferred in, great big. I think she has good touch around the rim. But that Coppin State game, Gamecocks, right? That Coppin State game and that Texas game, right? I do feel she can play a little bit tougher, right? I don't feel that she was all the way there with her physicality in the game, right? I think the other bigs were kind of out muscling her a little bit down low. And I mean, we all have bad games, but I would love to see her insert or assert herself in this particular game against a Reagan Beers, right? Against Oklahoma Bigs and say, hey, I'm ready for battle in the SEC. I'm tough. I can not only grab the rebound, but I can grab it, I can go up, and I can finish around the physical contact. I think a lot of WNBA scouts are looking for her because she has good size, but they're looking for her to be able to rebound and still take the ball up with the physical contact. I think she kind of, struggles with that. I'm not sure. But last game, I believe she had around 5 turnovers, right? 5 turnovers. And of course, Coppin State is a smaller school. They don't have quite the size of girls that we have. And maybe the focus just wasn't there, but I'll be definitely looking at the stat line just to see how well she does rebounding the ball. Some other key players for South Carolina, as always, is going to be the guard play, right? First and foremost, I want to see them impact the game defensively. Defensively, you have to make it extremely hard on Aaliyah Chavez, because if she gets it going, she gets it hot going from three. She gonna be stopping, popping, running full speed, launching threes all over the place. We have to keep the pressure up, and I know that they definitely will. I think it's going to be similar to how LSU pressured them during the Oklahoma game. We already know Hollywood Raven ain't no joke, right? Hollywood Raven, she's gonna play defense. She's gonna be a nightmare, right? She gonna know what type of gum Aaliyah Chavez chewing, gonna follow her to the bench. Like, she needs to make it a nightmare for her, and let her know respectfully, it's levels to this thing, right? And she says, what she do? Seatbelt game, lock up, lock her up, family. Also Tanaya, right? Tanaya Latson, right? Whenever Lay transferred Malaysia for Wiley, transferred to LSU, and I saw that we had a transfer coming in from Florida State. I saw she was the leading scorer in women's college basketball at the time. So I was thinking like, oh, she gonna be scoring. But man, if you guys think back to that Texas game, and I've been watching her since she came, man, her defense, you can tell that Coach Staley, and I don't know, I didn't watch her as much at Florida State, but you can tell that Coach Staley has really harped on, hey, to play on this team, for us to win, you have to play not just good defense, elite level defense. So all my players or parents watching, harp in on that defense, right? Scoring is great. Scoring always is going to be great. But these coaches, elite level coaches, they want to see you play defense at an elite level, right? And she did that. That Texas game, she had some key steals. If you look at it, I can't remember. I think it was the beginning of that second half. She had like two or three key steals and made some layups that, man, turned the game around. Just what we call, and I need to show this on a couple of the clips, it's called shooting the gap. So when other teams are passing the ball around lazy, they shoot the gap and deflect the ball. As soon as they're passing, they run full speed. I'm guaranteeing you will see it against Oklahoma. South Carolina players, the way they play defense, they shoot the gap and try to get those steals. If you make a lazy pass, they want to make you pay for it, right? So your passes have to be crisp. They don't want you to do anything lazy. They make it tough on the catch, you catching the ball and everything. They want to make you make mistakes, right? Now, I hadn't talked about everybody, but speaking of mistakes, one thing I do want to see improve from the Coppin State game and also from the Texas game is the amount of turnovers from our South Carolina Lady Gamecocks, right? I think we are good. We're great, right? We're a great basketball team. We avenged that loss to Texas, but I think we could be even more special if we made a little better decisions, right? And for the most part, these turnovers come that we like to play fast when we get those turnovers, not being able to execute. We'll throw a pass a little too far out of bounds, kind of break the momentum we had from just getting the steal. And we're good enough that we can have a lot of turnovers and still win a basketball game. But as we head into, we got the end of January going into February, I want to see us improve in being able to take care of that ball. If we don't have the advantage, we have a good enough half court offense that we can actually take advantage and say, hey, that's a risky pass. I'm not gonna make it right now. I'm gonna pull that bad boy out, give it to Hollywood Raven. Boom, we can set up a play, we can drive and kick, hit Tessa in the corner, pass the ball down in the paint to Joyce or Okot, whoever. We got Tanaya. We have a good enough half court offense where we can get a bucket or at least a shot rather than getting a turnover, right? So those are just a few of the key things I think we need to do. Pressure their guards heavily. We need to limit our turnovers and come out with a strong start. Oklahoma is going to be extremely hungry, you guys. They lost to LSU. I think they were ranked top 10. I'm not sure where they're going to be ranked after the LSU because the rankings update on Sunday, the following Sunday. So I don't know where they're going to be ranked. But best believe when our Gamecocks come into town, oh, good old Oklahoma Sooners, they gonna be trying to rain on our parade. And right now, y'all, we are one of the undefeated SEC teams, right? Vanderbilt is another one. Um, both of us are undefeated, and I think we have Vanderbilt on Sunday, which I'm gonna definitely be breaking that down. I'm gonna also come back after tonight. It'll either be um late tonight or early in the morning and break down what happened post game versus Oklahoma, right? Let's talk a little bit about Oklahoma in my notes that we have here. What are some things they need to do, right? If they want to be successful, they need to have their guards need to have a good shot selection, right? They like to play fast, they like to get off quick shots, right? They either need to be knocking them down or take better shots. Now, from the times that I seen them play this year, they always shoot, real quick early in the shot clock, just getting shots up. And when they feeling them, they look like a really good team, right? But when they don't, you can see something happen like the LSU game, right? And I do think we're going to win on the road, but I think it can be tough if we continue to turn the ball over. The next thing, of course, I talked about it a little bit earlier. The next one of their main key players, Reagan Beers, must stay in the game and avoid foul trouble. If they can make Okai have a less physical game and dominate down low, where Okai can't hang with Beers, it's going to give us some problems, right? Now, I meant to mention her earlier, Adele Tack, right? Let me say that name again, Adele Tack. Man, that game she played against Texas, right? She didn't play against Coppin State. You guys know she had the mask on. They say she had some kind of nasal issue. But that game against Texas, being able to be in there and be physical with Oaker, which is an extremely physical and great post player. She makes you work, but I tell you, Adele Tack held it down, right? She held it down in the post, made them earn every single thing they got. That's the kind of physical presence you're going to need in the SEC to be successful as far as rebounding and defending the basket, right? You need some old 6'5", 6'6", 6'7", extremely tough, making it difficult on everybody who can rebound the ball at will. You need that to set yourself up for success, right? Now, I think Oklahoma needs to play through Reagan Beers. Aaliyah Chavez does compliment Beers. Now, options, the third option is, if I'm saying it correctly, Zaya Van is the one of the third options. It may be Sahara Williams, right? Those are mostly the third scoring options for them. But I really think our defense, South Carolina Lady Gamecocks defense, by pressuring those guards, right? Look for that and look for them to attack Reagan Beers, right? If they can do those things, I don't believe Oklahoma is going to be able to keep up. Now, I could be wrong, right? Anything can happen in the SEC. But I do think we'll get this dub on the road. And we'll be looking forward to Vanderbilt. If we can control and play what I like to call Don Staley or South Carolina basketball, Oklahoma, they're not going to be able to keep up. I'm sorry, they don't have enough. And I believe Reagan Beers will find herself in foul trouble again, and Aaliyah Chavez will be forced to take very tough shots because she will have old seatbelt Hollywood Raven, Raven Johnson on her, or she can have McKeer on her, or she can have old Tessa Johnson on her, right? It's going, or Tanaya. It's gonna be a long night, right? It's gonna be a long night. Y'all, that's all I got for this episode. Stay tuned. We're gonna get the backdrop right. I just wanted to get this one in the books, right? If you enjoy this talk, make sure you hit the like, subscribe button, and share. Hey, go Gamecocks. Let's go.